today's winner is going to receive a Halloween reading. And if you're interested in booking a Halloween reading with me, you can do so until the end of the month on my website. It's in the golden tier. You can find all the necessary information in my description box. So the winner of today's reading is Gwyneth. Congratulations, Gwyneth. We're going to do your reading at the end of this video. So, in this Halloween-themed reading, we're interested to dive into our fears and see what is coming up in the upcoming month of November, and what seems to be the emerging issue or perspective that needs to be talked about. And we're going to use the Santa Muerte Tarot for today's reading, alongside with the Hungarian word, which we don't know what it is yet. Maybe it's something scary, maybe it's something neutral. We'll find out and see what comes up. Message wants to come. So the word is személyesség. 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 So if you'd like, you can go to the comment section and make a guess as to what this means. I'm assuming most of you aren't Hungarian speakers, so you can only go by what the word sounds like. Személyesség. Okay. And the card is the 8 of Wands. So I had to actually look up what the word means in English, because I wasn't even sure if there's one word that would describe this. It's such a complex concept, at least in my mind. So the first part of the word, személy, means person. And személyes means personal. Személyesség means personalness, if there's such a word. Do you think there's such a word? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, this is a word used to describe situations and relations in which you as an individual exist and are recognized, and there's a high level of intimacy also associated with this word, or at least a higher level of intimacy than in completely neutral and alienated and non-personal relationships. So it is personal in the sense that it is expressed with the recognition and the awareness of you as a person in mind. So a gift, for example, can be personal if it's something that kind of hits you a little bit. When you open it, you realize that the person who bought this gift for you really loves you, really pays attention to you, really recognizes your strengths, your desires, your character. So that is Semi-Eshig. And so, as I said in the beginning, we are diving into some of our fears surrounding this personalness, this experience of personalness. And we've got the Eight of Wands accompanying this word and concept. So with the Eight of Wands, I would say the message is, or the sort of the conversation that is being opened here, is whether it's a little more comfortable for us to exist in impersonal relationships and interactions throughout our day, rather than to be invaded by, or at least in our perception, being invaded by deeply personal, intimate interactions. So I think it's the question of balance between our natural desire to want to be known and appreciated for who we are, and the fright and terror of being overwhelmed by someone who, or some force or some influence that wants to devour us and possess our individuality in such a way that feels abusive or invasive. So I would like to ask you this. When you go to the grocery store, I know in many grocery stores in the US and same in Europe, there's no longer a cashier person to talk to. You just go and go to the self-checkout section and you take care of the whole payment process, and you do not interact with one human person throughout this process. And some people say that they prefer this kind of procedure because then they don't have to be exposed to this overtly invasive experience of having to be human with someone, with another person, when the goal of the interaction is simply to get your stuff, pay the money that was needed, and get out of there as quickly as possible. So it feels somehow like something that is below the dignity of what a real human moment of connection would require. And I think what these people are saying is that there's a performative element to those interactions. And it's even worse than just showing up and taking your stuff and leaving. So I wonder what you think about that. Which side of the argument are you on? Because some people say that even if we all know that the interaction with the cashier asking how your day's going, or you asking them, it's not a real deep, intricate example of humans interacting with one another. It's not intimate, but it's still something. It's still a type of connection that our soul needs in our day-to-day existence. And that it's a little sliver of Semi-Eshig, a little sliver of personalness that our soul needs. And with the Eight of Wands, what comes up is this really high energy, no time to F around, let's get things started, let's get busy. It's this really quick and impatient energy that kind of pushes you forward and does not allow you to take your time and enjoy the moment as it unfolds. It's really kind of pushy in that regard. So what is the fear? What is a bigger fear here? The fear of engulfment or the fear of alienation? What do you think? I've recently seen a video in which an older gentleman explained that they have seen a TED Talk wherein the researcher was given a talk about longevity and what factors contribute most significantly to longevity, a longer life. And what they found was, and I don't know if this is true, so don't come for me if it's not, but it sounds like it's something that makes sense for me. So it's not exercise, it's not your diet, it's not anything that you would normally think of that really matters, but it's the daily pleasant interactions that you have with strangers. The number of those interactions is a good indicator of longevity and resilience. So it seems to be a key component to how we navigate our lives and how stable our mental health is. And I think it makes sense if you think about how our brain tends to interpret unfamiliar things, situations, all kinds of stimuli that is unexpected or just doesn't fit the pattern, how it can be interpreted as a threat. And receiving threat signals all day, if you're someone who lives in an urbanized environment in a big city and you go walk outside and all you see is just strangers' faces, people who could potentially be a threat, and your brain interprets those faces as a threat. So that obviously elevates your stress levels, and prolonged stress can lead to all kinds of chronic illness and physical health issues, which in turn could be a problem for your longevity. So in my mind, it makes sense that if you have these little bits for connection for people that you don't know, for people who are strangers, and you have these little interactions with them, then that could signal to your brain and your subconscious that you're safe, that even if you don't know these people, they can be talked to, they are friendly, that you're okay, that they are okay, everything is going fine. And so perhaps that could be a goal for us. I don't know what you guys think, to go against this very natural fear of unfamiliar things, impersonal things being a threat, but also at the same time fighting for our boundaries, making sure that nobody is violating our privacy or personhood, while at the same time making sure that we personalize our interactions when that's possible. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, let's get to Gwyneth's reading. So, Gwyneth, how are you doing? We're going to do a shortened version of the Halloween reading that is available on my website. It's in the gold pentacle tier. So if you're interested, you can go and check it out on my website. You can find the link in the description. And so we're going to do a short version of that with you. And first and foremost, I would like to ask the cards if there's any particular fear that wants to make itself known. Sometimes we hide and conceal our fears, even from ourselves, because fear itself is scary. And in this reading, we're working on our fears, right? So now that all of us are here, I'm assuming that a couple people are still here watching this video. They're here with us. And so if you'd like, you can send some positive energy to Gwyneth while I light up the candle. So Gwyneth, we're here with you. We're very, very happy to have you here with us, and we are going to dive into some of the fears that you may have, but you're not consciously aware of. And all the people watching this right now, they are virtually by your side. They are supporting you with their presence, with their thoughts, with their energy. And at this moment, they are all saying, "You're strong, Gwyneth." So you guys can repeat this in your mind if you want. "You're strong, Gwyneth. And we are here for you." And we are here for you as you're working through your fears. Okay. So, what could be a fear that is coming up for you, or that seems to be more relevant than other fears at this moment? And we're going to see what it is, and we're going to start a dialogue with your subconscious mind, trying to figure out how to transcend this fear, okay? And I'm using the mermaid brush for this part of the reading today. All right, I think I found it. And it's the Knight of Cups. A fear connected with the Knight of Cups would be, for example, a fear of emotional volatility or intensity, the fear of mistaking your emotions for reality. So having this aversion to relaxing into your feelings and your fantasies and your imagination, for fear of losing touch with reality and what is rational and what is tangible. So for some people on the extreme end, this could manifest as a fear of being seen as irrational, or fear of losing one's own mind. This happens sometimes, and it's a very, very unpleasant thing when you go through that. So what is it that scares us so much when it comes to emotions? They can be really wild. So I understand that you may have had some recent intense experiences with them. And right now, I think with any fear, there's always a desire also packaged in. And the desire could be to turn off all feelings, to become less sensitive. Okay, so let's see what you can do to transcend this fear, to use it to your advantage instead of letting it control you. And here is the Hermit. So the Hermit is saying that you are safe in your cocoon of chosen, deliberate isolation, self-isolation. Whenever you need it, it's there. Whenever you want to disconnect from the world and from the intense demands and emotions of the external world, you can do it. You have the opportunity to say no to social interactions that are burdensome, or too demanding. You have the option to look for answers within instead of having to wait for another's permission to go ahead and do something or to figure something out. The Hermit is the card of true and sometimes extreme independence. So this is something that you can go overboard with in an effort to avoid the avalanche of emotions that are coming at you. You may hide away. You may self-isolate. You may separate yourself. You may want to do that. And it can be done to such a degree that it becomes maladaptive. But at this point, the way to transcend your fear is to allow emotions to exist in their full glory and complexity in your mind. Instead of suppressing them or denying their existence, allow them to just coexist with you. But this doesn't have to happen in the presence of other people or other demands, is the point of the Hermit. Is that you are free to choose the option to process things by yourself when you feel that you're ready. There's no pressure for you to be anyone else than who you are truly at your essence. There's no need for you to forcefully expose yourself to the perturbing realities of the world if you're not ready. There's no need to offer yourself as sacrifice to those who want to feed off of you. You can be free to say no and to protect yourself. But don't forget, the emotions which emerge in your mind and your soul, they are real, they are to be respected, and they can come out safely. If this needs to happen in the privacy of your own home, and if you want to be alone with those feelings, then that's perfectly fine. You can have your peace, and you can have the experience of processing your emotions at the same time. So Gwyneth, thank you for watching, and to everybody else who decided to stay with us, thank you for watching. Happy Halloween. Don't forget to book a Halloween reading with me while you can, till the last day of October. And see you next time.